Hello again. Today I'm going to be flying SkyWest Airlines d.b.a United Express Flight 5462 from Fargo to Denver on the world's most hated plane, the Canadair Regional Jet 200. But this seemingly typical regional hop would bring about a bizarre twist when this aircraft with barely a livery gets assigned to my route. Here we go for yet another Fargo departure on a United CRJ200. As you may know, I already did one of these quite recently. That one was to Chicago though. This one, however, will be that other United hub, the one that I go to all the time on this channel, Denver. Those are the only two United destinations from here, and like last time, my gate for today is 4. When I took a look here at Gate 5, I realized that I somehow arrived early enough to see the other, earlier Denver flight before it even boarded. Well, to be fair, it was delayed real bad. Estimated departure pushed back 1 hour and 15 minutes at first, then quite a bit more later. I don't know what was up. Especially since the later flight, the one I'm on, operated with perfect timing. And of course, with Fargo's terminal being too small for its own good, an A319 flight out of here would obviously fill the gate area up, leaving it cramped and unpleasant to wait in. Because I was here though, I probably could have asked to be moved to this flight to get out of here earlier, and to avoid the CRJ200 of course. But I didn't bother, as I could tell this delay was causing a lot of stress for the crew and everyone on the flight. Wasn't gonna overcomplicate it. Plus, there weren't any earlier alternatives to my connecting flight anyway. Now, directly to the right of it, we got my gate for today, Gate 4. As you can see, we got a United Express CRJ200 here, but this isn't actually my flight to Denver. That plane is still on the way. This is the Chicago flight, and as a matter of fact, the exact flight I took last winter and already uploaded as a trip report, Flight 5371, with the only difference being that it's an Evo Blue CRJ doing it today. I still thought it was pretty cool that I saw the flight again, operating under the same number. Decided to get away from the crowds on the earlier Denver flight, so I went to the other side of the terminal. At Gate 2 here, we have an Endeavor d.b.a Delta connection CRJ900 coming in from Minneapolis. A while ago I did a trip report on one of these on a similar route, and my next video will also be on one of these. Eventually the crowds from the delayed Denver flight disappeared, and I finally spotted that A319 pushing back. My plane was actually on its way from Chicago, but would be continuing to Denver from here. I guess United found some way to make that work with Denver arrivals. Behind the CRJ, we got an Envoy d.b.a American Eagle Embraer 175 that just landed from Dallas. Right after that, good old Flight 5371 finally pushed back and left for Chicago. Eventually, my plane to Denver would make its landing here.
Yeah, for sure.
Something odd about this one, am I right? Probably thinking, where did its livery go? What is this airplane? Looks like a private jet. Actually, you know what this looks like? The default livery you'd probably see on one of those scenery planes in those low-budget airplane games. Or just in the background of an animated movie. You know, with the white fuselage and the only color being under the wings and on the engines. The most basic of a default livery, that's literally what this is giving. So, what is the deal with this livery? If you could even consider it a livery at all. Why is this United CRJ200 barely painted? I'll explain once we're on board. Anyways, this nearly all-white CRJ200 is November 918 Sierra Whiskey, 23 years old at the time. And while it doesn't say it anywhere on the plane itself, this is a United Express flight. And though this is going to be the second video this year on a United CRJ200 out of Fargo, I wanted to film this one too, obviously because I ended up with this bizarre livery today. And yeah, this will be yet another addition to my special liveries playlist. Sure, I'm glad that's still growing, of course. This is definitely the most last-minute flight I've ever booked, having booked the ticket literally just last night, which was too late for me to select an economy seat, but luckily they randomly gave me this window in front of the wing.
Laptop. Be sure to keep facing the seat in front of you so completely under the seat, keeping the area around your feet clear. Feel free to keep using your phones and tablets, just make sure that an airplane button either placed in a pocket or held for takeoff. Welcome to United Airlines 6462 to Denver. Today, thank you, Miles and for your loyalty and to our customers for choosing to fly with us today. Our entire United Express team is here to make sure you have a great flight. Okay. For your safety, we keep the seatbelts fastened whenever you are seated, even when the seatbelt sounded off. This Canadair Regional Jet goes with 2 forward exit doors, 1 on each side of the aircraft, and there are also 2 window exits over the wings. All 4 exits are marked with exit door signs. Please look at the exit closest to your seat, then the nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency,
Okay, so, what is the deal with this almost all-white livery with only a few specific parts painted blue? I mean, when they swapped my plane this morning to this one, I was really surprised to see it. No joke, I'd literally never seen this livery in my life. But if you take a look at the earlier images on the Flight Radar 24 profile, you'll notice that this plane wasn't always so blank. Not long ago, it had actual branding, that being an SWC logo. But what does SWC stand for? Apparently it stands for SkyWest Charter, a company I'd never heard of until now. I mean, this flight is operated by SkyWest Airlines, but what is SkyWest Charter? Turns out it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a subsidiary of SkyWest that provides, you guessed it, charter services upon request. It's SkyWest Airlines, but charter instead of scheduled passenger service. And this plane, 918 Sierra Whiskey, had a period from 2023 to 2025 where it flew for SkyWest Charter, and it was during that time it was painted in SkyWest's full charter branding. It was only last March, 5 months before this flight, when 918 Sierra Whiskey returned to scheduled passenger service with SkyWest Airlines. And I guess they just didn't bother painting it with the United Express livery and simply removed the SkyWest Charter branding. Saves money, I guess, and in the end, it gave us this simple but interesting background model style livery for this flight. I was quite disappointed to find out that United got rid of the Hemispheres magazine, but on a more positive note, they also brought back something even better. And what could this be? United, you actually did it. You brought back the stroopwafel. I don't know if I mentioned this in a past video, but this used to be my favorite airplane snack before United got rid of them a few years ago. In fact, the last time I had one of these on a United flight was also on a CRJ200 back in 2022. I unfortunately did not film that one. I believe it was right before United stopped serving them, as a matter of fact. But as of this flight, I am happy to confirm that United did bring them back. Definitely my favorite airplane snack, and this one did not disappoint. I actually waited for the drink service before I ate it, as I wanted to get coffee with it, but unfortunately they didn't have coffee on this flight for some reason, so I just went for a Coke. Due to the heat, the crew asked us to close all the windows later during taxi, so I didn't get much footage from that, other than the beginning 30-40 seconds. Sorry about that. Anyways, another decent flight with United Express. Of course, it's not very pleasant being on the CRJ200, with the narrow seats and the low ceiling that prevents me from standing up, but it wasn't that long of a flight anyway, and the crew were great today. Plus, this being my first United flight since early 2022 with the stroopwafel was a real highlight to the experience. Final score for United Express 5462 is 7.6 out of 10. Decent flight for a CRJ200, and I'm glad I got a chance on board one of the former SkyWest charter liveries. Definitely made it memorable.
All customers as it relates to the jet bridge, please